Welcome to day 138 on our BitClout journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein here with my brother Brian. And yesterday we got a little bit of news with Diamond Hands announcing the Jumio Edition. So now anyone can verify that they are who they say they are by giving an ID, and in turn you get $10 in cash or clout. What is it?
It's in clout, denominated in dollars. So you get $10 worth of clout.
Yeah, and so I mean, this is kind of going to be a way to stimulate BitClout, I think, like stimulate the internal economy of BitClout, but it's also going to be a way to help people onboard others. You no longer have to worry about them sending them some of your own clout or, having them use GiftClout, which is a great service by Raj Lahoti. They can simply sign up, verify that they are who they say they are, and then they get that $10 and they can use that $10 to buy their own coin. And then it allows them to give out diamonds to people. So I think it's a great onboarding tool, and it's going to be able to be used by other nodes as well. Am I correct?
Yeah, so it's not only BitClout.com that's actually giving us $10 away to users who verify their identity with Jumio, but it's also other nodes can give it away because this Jumio feature is actually built into the BitClout identity. So if you're running BitClout identity on any of your nodes or your apps, if your clout feed, you can say, hey, you can claim $10 if you sign up, or if you have already signed up and you want to just claim it and verify yourself, you can do so and get this $10. And then with that $10, like you said, you can buy your own coin, you can buy other creator coins, you can buy NFTs, you just start playing around and learning the system. Like before now, it was pretty hard to onboard people because they would have to put money in. Sometimes Merlin was working back in the day, but it was really tough. And I mean, they could turn to GiftClout, but a lot of people didn't know about GiftClout. So this is built right in. It gives people a $10 stipend to basically get to know this platform, and it gets them involved. And I think that's important. It also gets clout circulating because all these people are getting 10 extra dollars. That's $10 times how many people claim it, all circulating within the ecosystem, whether it's buying NFTs or buying creator coins or just buying their own coin and diamonding. So I think it's an awesome way to kind of add some fuel to the fire, as they say. And I think they waited because of the bot situation. They wanted to find a way to do it where you're not dealing with bots cheating the system and claiming $10. And something that I've heard, I mean, there are going to be people complaining that, hey, why this is decentralized? Why am I giving my ID to get this $10? But I mean, that's your own prerogative. If you don't want to give your ID, I mean, we've been in crypto since 2012. There's several sites that have our ID because in order to sell Bitcoin, you have to do that here in the United States, at least. Coinbase has it, Gemini has it. I mean, all the major exchanges in the US have it. So
of course you don't need to do that, but if you want to take your money out, you can. And of course, like this, you don't have to give your ID to get the $10, but if you want that $10, you can do it. It's an option. So I don't think it really puts any dents into decentralization. It's just something that's added on top of the platform.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that those who want the $10, I mean, it literally took me I think 2 minutes. So all it did was it asked me to hold up my ID, which was my Florida state driver's license. You could also use passport. I put it up to my camera on my computer. A second, it took a picture. Then I turned it over, did the same thing. And then it said to put your face in a box and take a picture of yourself. It did that. And then in 2 minutes, Merlin sent me $10 in clout. So it's simple.
So I was just going to say, this leads to other questions like verification now. There's been a lot of people who want to get verified, get that little blue check next to their name. You would think that, I mean, I don't see any reason why this couldn't be used as a way to give people that blue check. Is there anything that would stop them from doing so?
Okay, well, I thought the same thing, but Diamond Hands said explicitly in his post last night that the only reason they're asking for ID is to weed out the bots. So I think if they were going to do that for actual blue check verification, I think maybe he would have said something like that. But it seems like they're only asking for ID because they don't want bots taking advantage of the system.
Yeah, so they want to weed out the bots, but at the same time, shouldn't we be able to see which accounts are not bots? Like, if you want to weed them out, you should give everybody the option to see who's been verified, so you know who the bots
Yeah,
are, or at least you can confirm that somebody's not a bot. Like,
yeah,
maybe it
and
doesn't have
I
to be the blue check. Maybe it could be like, another, just a little badge, like ID verified or something.
right, and I think that would be great because I think that there is this kind of like class system where like you have the verified blue checks and then you have everybody else. And I don't think there's any doubt that having a blue check gets you more engagement simply because it stands out. And I don't think it should be that way. I don't think anybody, just because they were verified on, say, Twitter or Facebook, should be any should stand out any more than those people who are verifying on the system with their ID. Because I mean, after all, just because you're verified on Twitter or Facebook doesn't mean that you're any more special than anybody else.
So did you see that Diamond Hands also talked about a tutorial that seems to be coming? That's interesting.
Yeah,
So they're going to basically have a walkthrough for new members and explain the process of signing up, how to give diamonds, how to create NFTs, and just basically how to use BitClout in general. I think that's a great something that we need because there's so much to learn about BitClout. When you onboard somebody, there's so much to tell them, and it can be overwhelming. So I think the idea of having a tutorial that they can do on their own time and at their own pace is an excellent idea.
yeah, absolutely. And I think combining that with the $10 gift you get when you sign up and verify, I think that's really powerful because now you get that money and you can walk through these quick tutorials. I'm guessing they're going to be quick tutorials and understand it and then play around with it because you have that money. And I think that this is just the beginning of what they're expecting to do in order to kind of explode things and pour that fuel in the fire. So I'm looking forward to seeing what else they do. I'm guessing some sort of referral system.
Yeah, the referral. So that's something else I want to talk about. So, I mean, we imagine there's a referral system coming. It's been rumored to be coming. Diamond Hands, I believe, mentioned that it's something they're working on. How do you think that's going to work? Do you think it's going to simply be if I refer somebody, I'm going to get $5 to $10 in clout? Do you think, or do you think it would be something more along the lines of if I refer you after you buy your creator coin, I get $5 or $10 worth of your creator coin? To me, I think that would be the better idea because it kind of, like it kind of incentivizes you to refer somebody and also helps boost that creator's coin a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, what you're describing would probably work the best, but I think it's probably a little too complicated a system, and it might even confuse some newcomers. So I think that probably what we will see is just a flat fee. So you refer somebody, you get X amount. If you want to take that X amount and then buy their coin, that's up to you. You can do that. Plus, now they get $10 if they verify themselves. So if they say, hey, you refer somebody, you get $10, you can say, hey, you sign up, you're going to get $10. It's going to
I don't think they would give the referral commission unless the individual you refer verifies themselves. Because
yeah, and I think that's
you have the bot issue.
That's why this is so important. That's why they had to do this first, is because they want to make sure that when they roll out the referral program, you don't have the bots cheating the system.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's about it. Is there any other?
One more thing.
Yeah.
One more thing. There's one major change that also happened last night, and that is that post now can be 560 characters, double that of 280, and that also works with replies. So when you comment on a post, you now have 560 characters. And I think that's awesome because I always find myself running out of characters, especially commenting to people, like having you make two different posts and make it a thread. It's just not fun to do.
Yeah, and I mean, there were apps and browser extensions such as BitClout Plus that gives you, I think, over 2,000 characters. But it is nice to have it natively on BitClout, especially with the implementation of NFTs, and people want to have some descriptions for the NFT. So I think it's definitely was something that was desperately needed, and I'm glad that they moved forward with that. I also want to mention our first Clout Woman NFT. We released it yesterday. It will be ending. The auction will be ending today at 3 p.m. Eastern time, or 2 minutes after the last bid, whatever comes last. The first woman features Michelle Lord. and she's been really great on Clubhouse and helping people in Clubhouse learn more about BitClout. And we plan to release another Clout Woman every few days or so. We don't have an exact schedule, and the auction should last about a day. So yesterday's will end today at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Heidi, Brian's wife, is she's kind of curating things, and she's looking for other women to be featured. So if you're interested, or you know of anybody who you think should be featured, feel free to reach out to Heidi, she's just H Krasenstein on BitClout, and she'll probably get back to you and take your advice. So we look forward to this series. It's something we're working on to kind of try and help promote women on the platform. We'd like to see more women on BitClout. We'd like to see more women rise to the top of BitClout. All of the funds that we raise, other than the 10% that goes to the coin holders of every NFT sale, will go to women. 50% goes to the woman that's featured. 20% goes into buying NFTs and creator coins of other women on the platform, and 20% goes to Heidi, Brian's wife, who's kind of the brains behind this project. Even though I'm drawing, me and Brian are drawing. I think Heidi will probably draw a few too. But as far as that goes, we're looking forward to that. And I think
I just want to point out, like, the main feature of this project is not the money it's bringing in. I'm guessing that they're not going to bring in a huge amount of money, but it's to highlight these women. So like Michelle Lord, we're highlighting her, we're writing a bio of her, Heidi's writing the bio, and we're putting it out there and kind of publicizing her. So I think it's a good way to kind of discover women on this platform who are doing amazing things. And I hope to, like you said, every few days or every week, we'll have a new woman that's featured, and we'll be able to kind of promote her and get her name out there. So I think that's the main, I guess, idea behind it.
Yeah, and I mean, the goal is to do this long term. We'll see how it works out. And we can't feature every woman, but we do hope to get as many as we can over time. So I think that's a good place to leave off, and we'll talk to everybody again tomorrow.